attention required, the Public Works Corporation, the government arm that used to be solely responsible in the past for road maintenance and rehabilitation, was restructured for greater efficiency. Equipped with adequate personnel and resources, PWC now responds faster in carrying out roads repairs and rehabilitation, especially in the Lagos metropolis, where there is large network of roads.
Continue to develop, upgrade, and fashion a better way to do our job to the satisfaction, not only of our people, but that of God Almighty, who has stood with us up to now and who will continue to stay with us because we are committed to the people's development and we stay above board.
Due to the utmost importance of the sector, particularly due to our standard socially and economically, education will continue to receive total and uncompromising attention. This administration has emphasized this commitment at almost every forum and opportunity, and has continually looked for ways and means of not only increasing the facilities, but has established a niche for outstanding learning structure.
I'm going to have a dedicated
By May 2005, 27 primary and secondary schools cutting across the state were either rehabilitated or totally reconstructed at the total cost of 400 million naira. The second phase of the program had seen the completion of 4 formerly abandoned secondary school structures. 16 were rehabilitated, while 15 were reconstructed. The total amount spent on this phase alone was 375 million naira.
We really thank the governor for building this school for us because it has been a long time that we have waiting for this opportunity. And we thank the governor for giving us this kind of gift. And we know that he's still going to do more because in his reaction we know that he's still going to try very.
We benefited because previous year ago we are in the classroom, our staff room is not normally organized. Our classroom, we are even sitting down on doors, but now we know that as God has done this for us, we are going to move from this to glory.
As resolute as the administration is to improving the infrastructure in this sector, the overwhelming situation must be pointed out. Here are the facts. By the second term of the 2004-2005 academic year, the number of primary schools in Lagos State stood at 934. Junior secondary schools, 303, while there were 294 schools for senior secondary. And virtually every school building requires some form of rehabilitation. However, in spite of the tremendous work to be done, coupled with other competing social demands, the administration remains steadfast and totally committed to enhancing and properly placing education where it deserves. This commitment is further shown in the policy to ensure that all SS3 students are given the opportunity to sit for the final school certificate examinations. This administration believes that no student must be barred from the examinations as a result of poor background. By May year 2005, a total sum of 727.2 million naira had been expended on over 420,000 students since year 2000 when the scheme started. The payment of examination fees did not stop at the senior secondary school level alone. It has been extended to the junior secondary school students as well. 135 million naira was paid as junior secondary examinations for 90,000 students for the academic year 2004-2005, while the sum of 120 million naira was also paid for 8,000 candidates for junior secondary school certificate examination.
This is what is being a student important scheme, because if you look at it, the WAEC fees are being paid, money for practicals, infrastructures are there, your labs are there without you paying the cover. I think it's very wonderful.
Average family of 6 or 8 with 2 or 3 children in the same school, and they are poor. So by the time you ask 3 of them to pay examination, you are talking of about 7,500, 2,500 each. The entire capital being used to roast corn, roast body, is not up to 2,000. So you will have caused 3 of those children to drop out. And what are they going to do? Street trading, hockey. You stimulate. You have caused poverty. You have stimulated poverty rather than fighting the poverty, rather than assisting them. That is why in Lagos State, say regardless, no discrimination, we will pay your examination fee. Keep the children in the class. Give them the opportunity.
The historical, political, as well as the expansive growth of the city of Lagos and its environs have made it quite imposing and domineering. The state is always categorized as highly urbanized. The fact on ground is that a vast majority of the state area falls within rural, semi-rural, and riverine. The administration has taken it as a priority to ensure that these areas that serve as ample opportunities for accommodating the excess population from the city of Lagos are provided with enough facilities to improve on the socio-economic activities. Here is the first area of commitment.
Lagos State Government, Ministry of Rural Development, this plaque commemorates the official commissioning of Black Women Micro Water Scheme by His Excellency the President Ahmed Tinubu, Governor of Lagos State, on Wednesday 9th May 2005. By May 2005, 3 micro-water schemes had been constructed in the rural areas of the state, while 12 had been rehabilitated and over 200 different motorized boreholes, hand pumps, and wells had been sunk. Areas like Odomola, Erepoto, Ibola, Temu, Epe, Laga, Ewuelepe, and Abashimo in Ikorodu. Others include Otelu, Shiriwon in Lekki, and Orimedu Ibeju, and Orile Lason in Etiosa. And others now have treated water projects serving them.
So according to the water system that the state government provides for us, so it's what we like. And we really love it so much. So since they have been doing these things, so we have no problem of water again.
The local government happens to cover over 400 square kilometers. That's about 1/7 of the total landmass of Lagos State. And prior to his administration, the only legacy of the state was the Maroko Expressway. And after the session of his own administration, he had gone into various projects within the local government, various road rehabilitation, various electrification projects. One of Badori is there, this present one we have here, Labora Wode is there, Iokojo Elemoro is there, and others even at our own sister local government at Lekki. So that shows the kind of focus this local government is getting from this excellency, and that's the only way this local government can develop, being a rural local government with potentials for both industrial and tourism ventures.
By the end of year 2004, over 190 million naira had also been spent on rural electrification projects. In year 2004, 23 of these projects were completed and hooked to the national grid. Some of the newly completed projects include Odonisha and Mataku, Ikosi, Ejirin, Okeagbo, and Araromi, Imota, Ajelogo, Ijede, Kotoa-Ikorodu, and Tokpo New Site, and Ahave in Badagry.
God Almighty, the economic benefits of our people, social progress, and political.
Lagos State Government, the Ministry of Rural Development, display commemorates former commissioning of rural electrification scheme of Agbasuraye by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on Friday, 13th May 2005. Congratulations. I dedicate Commissioner. Chairman, come here now. Chairman. Committee Chairman. I dedicate this to rural electrification project in Agbado Kyoto local government. I'm sorry, I'm carrying a hang up on the hangover. I dedicate this electrification project in Ayutoro and Jokoro local government to the glory of God Almighty, economic prosperity of our people.
In fact, we are in a total darkness, but thank God that He has turned this community to a day moonlight, and for this, it is beyond human being imagination.
Besides the improvement on the physical development, considerable energy to enhancing the income generating potentials of the rural dwellers was also expanded. Since farming is the main sustenance, training in fishing, poultry, as well as crop farming were intensified, and many people, including the rehabilitated area boys and girls, benefited. The fishermen were provided with giant freezers and electricity generating sets at Okunse, Shiriwon in Lekki area, and Itehu in Badagry. These facilities have been helping the local fishermen to preserve their catches and prevent wastage and spoilage that used to prevail. Our pilot piggery project was also set up at Mataku in Ekpe, another in Egon, and Logbere in the Kosieji area. Besides this, 3-ton cassava processing machine was also provided for the farmers of Igboa Power in Ekpe. Realizing the roles of women in the national building and upliftment of the general well-being of the people, the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration initiated programs for the enhancement of the economic status of the women folk. By May 2005, over 7,000 women had been trained in such vocations like soap, pomade and hat making, pottery, weaving, tie and dye, balloon decoration, quite a popular vocation amongst young ladies who want to seize the opportunity and advantages of the various celebrations and parties prevalent. There's also hairdressing and catering. Besides the free skilled acquisition training, the administration provided take-off materials for 4,000 beneficiaries.
This way. Don't block it that way. This thing, Abba. Madam,
Today, the women development centers at Ogba, Ikorodu, Ekpe and Badagry have been restructured and fully equipped to meet the expectations of the administration. Over 3,000 women had been trained in these centers in the last 3 years. This is another concrete commitment to upgrading the less privileged in the society. Unquestionably, the population constitutes the greatest challenge.
Democracy is all about inclusion. It's all about people. It's all about development.
The Lagos metropolis inhabitants also benefited, where 700 poverty alleviation equipment like pepper grinding and block making machines and telecommunication equipment were distributed to beneficiaries of the poor.
I thought it's something that will be so difficult for me. Since when I come, this is the 15th. Everything, when we want to go out for wedding, when they charge us about 25,000, 50,000, this is what we come and learn free of charge. I thank God and I thank God will bless them. I will continue to practice because practice is the same makes perfect. I know for these 2 weeks I've gained a lot of experiences, but when I get home I want to go and establish, buy materials on my own and continue to decorate.
It is about commitment to improving the general well-being of the masses. The governor also delved into providing quick and free legal assistance. The Citizens' Right Office, an alternative to dispute resolution, was also established. The system provides friendly settlement whenever there is a dispute, rather than the displeasure and unnecessary stress always associated with such matters. Several cases between landlords and tenants, the most popular, lenders and borrowers, family members, employers and employees, and others are also dealt with. In the year 2004 alone, about 8,000 invitations were issued, and about 1/3 of the issues were resolved in friendly atmosphere.
For us, democracy is not just a word or cliche, and therefore we were determined not to pay mere lip service to it. Over the years, and within the normal budgetary and management constraints, we have kept faith with our vision of building the most vibrant, rights-friendly, and transparent judiciary in Africa.
I'm sorry, we'd like to call on the Honorable Justice A.A. Alabi, the Honorable Chief Judge of Lagos State.
Judiciary. I have the honor.
Just maybe the knowledge is not correct. So by the time you went there, that 2003, he has broken take everything.
However, the area reflecting the administration's total commitment to helping the masses in the judiciary matters is the Office of the Public Defenders.
I did my workshop, Jeje. They work for my daily bread. Now so big man with him big car, come jam me. When we dress and go in house, now so you throw me out like goat. Me I did for pin. Big man they sip wine. I can't go for the Office of the Public Defender. Now so better lawyer with better sense listen to my story. So big man said he put hand for back for court. Lawyer no go gree. Judge said no believe the thing when they hear. Big man come they look like mumu. My people, Lagos State government don't pay lawyers to defend we poor people. Governor Bola Tinubu don't ready to defend the defenseless. If anybody mess you, go to the Office of the Public Defender, where lawyers go take your case to court free of charge. This not be joke, free of charge.
For the year 2004, about 600 petitions in both civil and criminal matters were received. Some of the important matters in this area include payment of compensation to victims of human rights abuse, welfare, widows' rights, and death benefits.
My mom, before we lost our mom, we lost our daddy on October 24th, 2002. And so that period, our uncles and our aunties, our village people, they were like, they wanted to take everything my daddy had from my mom. the house, the 2 cars, a bus and a car from her. So when she denied everything and the account, they wanted to collect the passbook. They were asking her for so many things and she denied everything. So they were threatening her that if she didn't bring it, that they would do this to her, they would do that to her. At the end of the day, they couldn't get it. So when she came back, she fell sick due to I don't know what they did to her. They have really helped us. They have really helped us. When we lost our mom, we had nobody there. Everybody just left us. We even slept with the cops for a day inside our room. Me and my younger ones, we slept there with the cops. They left us. At the end of the day, they came back. They took the cops away. They sent my 4 siblings to school just on scholarship without payment. Even their clothing, their feeding, everything about their schooling. They've been taking care of it. My daddy's uncompleted building, they helped us to roof 2 rooms there, apartments, and we've been staying. They've helped us in so many ways. They've been helping us. You know, we had nothing, but it was from their purse. All this was taken care of. And
without exaggeration, by the first quarter of the year 2005, cleanliness in the Lagos metropolis had started to be taken for granted. Many areas that used to be noted for heaps of refuse have begun to be acknowledged and admired for tidiness and inviting surroundings. Today, many streets in the city of Lagos feature prominently in the home video scenes without people realizing that not too long ago they were categorized and tagged as very dirty and shameful. Clean environment is indeed a topmost priority of this administration. As a matter of fact, restoring the pride of Lagos as a clean city has been adopted as a policy thrust.
For the avoidance of doubt, no market or motor garage operator should henceforth dump refuse on highways, road medians, barges, lagoons, streams, wetlands, and loops. You must organize your place. Any mechanic, any workshop, any garage that I pass through and find waste on their median or around them loosely, not organized, I will close them down. It's not limited to the market alone. All motor parks, if they don't have from today on containers, bags to organize the pure water, the refuse, when you go to major parks, they live as if they are in the jungle. Lagos is Lagos. It is not jungle. You either obey our law or go to your own jungle.
Besides the non-payment of the local government's allocations by the federal government, a situation that could have derailed all the laudable projects of the administration, if not for the doggedness and unflinching commitment, the administration also has to contend with a huge generation of refuse on hourly basis, if not moment-by-moment basis. A factor arising from a large and highly concentrated population in a relatively small area. To get to the present clean stage, the administration engaged 17 viable waste management companies to collect and dispose refuse from many areas. These companies now ensure that no area within their operating zones is littered and uncatered for. The energy and resources committed to cleanse the environment strongly attest to the strength and range of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Besides the 2 factors of non-payment of the local government allocations and high volume of refuse generated daily, there are also the unwholesome, dirty habits of some people as well as the deliberate actions by some mischievous ones who were bent in frustrating the cleaning goals of the administration. To sustain the present cleanliness, the 3 main dump sites have been rehabilitated. The site at Olushosun by Ojota, Abule Egba along the Abeokuta Expressway, and Solus on Iba Road are now with all the necessary infrastructure, like all-weather road, illumination, and additional tipping fingers. The sustainability of these efforts is reinforced by the clearance of illegal dams at various places, as well as illegal structures that used to deface the landscape. In response and support, some corporate bodies as well as individuals have started to improve on some designated areas. By and large, some places have started to wear environmentally accommodating and friendly look. Also, to sustain this very important aspect and to prevent the seemingly intractable flooding, the administration concentrated on massive cleaning of chambers, conduits and collectors' drains at Anikotamo, Adeniji Adele Outfall, Apata Ilori, Bagada, Bariga, Shomolu and Oboru Drain, as well as Etinri Canal. The ultimate aim, underneath the commitment and energy to provide these infrastructural facilities, besides improving the socio-economic well-being of the citizenry, is also to ensure strong and healthy people. Our peak are the records in the health sector will not only pinpoint the administration's commitment, but will clearly show that the government of Lagos State is deeply concerned about the consequences of ill-motivated policies and programs in this sector, and wants to chart a new and positive transformation of the state into a more vibrant, progressive, and hopeful place. Malaria today is still the #1 killer in Africa. Its prevalence is quite high and cuts across every stratum. The loss of valuable time at work or at school or even socially due to malaria-related illness takes a great deal of toll on the economy and any meaningful progress. To cut down on this, the administration embarked on full-scale battle against malaria. In year 2004, over 140 million naira was spent on the treatment of the disease and other diseases like tuberculosis and leprosy. A total number of 287,760,000 patients were treated under the free malaria program. Another indication of the seriousness attached to the health sector is revealed here. By May 2005, a sum of 135 million naira had been spent on treatment of patients outside Nigeria for such cases that could not be handled effectively at home. Apart from the regular operations in the teaching and general hospitals, maternity wards and health clinics, several avenues were also initiated to provide easier health treatments. The limb deformity, reconstructive and rehabilitation, designed to correct various forms of limb deformity. The objective, of course, just like this program of the administration, is to improve the quality of life of those afflicted with deformity. By the second quarter of year 2005, over 800 patients had been screened. 82 of them were successfully operated and rehabilitated. 200 were referred for physiotherapy. In collaboration with the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the United States of America, surgical and medical services were carried out in Badagry, Lagos Island, where 6,880 patients were screened. 455 were operated upon for such surgical problems like hernia, appendicitis, and infective eyes. Many were treated and discharged without any payment whatsoever.
Appreciation to the Lagos government for offering us a free medical service. This is my son, Christian. He's been operated today, free of charge.
Open heart surgery was also carried out on 5 patients by a group of Nigerian surgeons based in the United States of America, and in benevolent show of support and appreciation for the administration to provide good health for the people, the surgeons donated medical equipment and consumables worth over 100 million naira to the state. The equipment are now for the benefits of the people at the new critical care unit, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital.
The first 24 hours is the most critical for post-cardiac surgery. And within the first 8 hours, we always pray that the machine, which is called ventilator, that helps them to breathe, that before they come to intensive care, that is been discontinued, that is been medically, so we can start. Because if they're not, it makes the healing process longer. So the first 12 hours, we have to be able to get them to sit up, wake up, get out of bed, and within 24 hours they have to start walking. And which is a new thing that was started about 5-10 years ago. Before it used to be up to, they used to stay 1 month in the hospital. And in that,
due to increase in the incidence of hypertension and diabetes in the community, the administration carried out screening exercise in several places. About 21,500 people were screened. Those discovered to be hypertensive or diabetic were promptly treated, and were serious were referred for further treatment at the various state hospitals. But by far, the most penetrating and most popular is the blindness prevention program. By May year 2005, not only has the program become well known, but it has virtually taken over as one of the legacies of Bola Tinubu.
L-Y. Okay, close the other eye. What's up now? A-C-O-A-L-H-O-C-C-A.
The Jiggy Bola took off in a most dramatic manner and is now being copied in other states. In year 2004 alone, over 20,000 people were tested. Our total number, 1,022 operations were carried to remove cataract, glaucoma, and other eye defects. A greater number, about 10,000, were provided with medicated glasses without paying a kobo. Also, in support of the administration, various health programs, a group of ophthalmologists from India, in collaboration with the Rotary Club of Victoria Island, performed various eye surgeries on patients at the Lagos General Hospitals.
Better, I can see very well. You know, before it's like where you are in Hamatan period, where you cannot see in a distance. I can only see things, only this one. I can only see things few, but this one nothing at all. But now with this, it's only yesterday they operated, and I can see very well. I know you. I know what you are putting on now.
So what has happened now?
I have done the operation this morning. I thank God. Myself, I will be very, very happy.
9 years old.
What happened to you?
For months I did not see clearly, and that's why I have my operation Friday to Tuesday. I did this eye on Tuesday, and I did the second eye 8th of this month.
I don't want to do the operation because it was expensive, so my mom brought me here and they did all check on me.
One other area the administration is surely, passionately, but subtly creating indirect impact is in ensuring that those who implement its various policies and programs are quite abreast of situations and versed to perform their responsibilities, are given adequate training. The idea is that for the Lagos Public Service to meet the aspirations and continually be responsive to the yearnings of the modern society, as well as pursue the vision of the administration, it must be properly harnessed and channeled. By May 2005, there were close to 45,000 labor force in the state government, with the post-primary teachers numbering almost half of the total number. Several training programs are conducted to improve areas of efficiency and effectiveness. Between May 2004 and February 2005, a sum of 56 million naira was spent for training. The several well-defined human resources development programs are meant for both junior and senior members of staff. Perhaps no area of governance of the Bola Tinubu administration reflects more commitment, more determination, and more success than the revenue generation and collection. By May year 2005, the state was generating an average of 3.5 billion naira monthly, a far cry from the situation in 1999, which was only 600 million naira. Besides other measures to boost the internally generated revenue, the target is actually 5 billion naira per month. The administration introduced the automation of tax-related security documents and electronic tax clearance certificate. Right from the beginning, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown that our country needs to set a solid basis for sustainable development and the long-term well-being of the people through efforts on the rebuilding of infrastructure, initiating and implementing policies and programs to improve on the qualities of education, health, environment, housing, even justice, and alleviating poverty and raising the standard of the rural and riverine areas.
We are determined to lay a solid foundation from which the future modern state of Lagos State will be built. We are talking of a new Lagos. A Lagos State reborn. A state that is first class in its planning, in its development, in its environmental and traffic discipline. A state that can be #1 state in Africa. We need the cooperation of every one of you to achieve this goal, our goal of New Lagos.
A governor who radiates confident optimism in spite of mounting political pressures, and who has the knack for knowing how to capture the warmth and support of people. A compassionate, humane individual who courts friendship genuinely and sincerely in spite of his tough stance and doggedness. A leader who has established a reputation for coming up with innovations and whose name in the political arena today is synonymous with courage and freedom of the mind and beliefs. The last man standing, the Okonlawan, who has not only become the conscience of the progressive minds, but who, by his vision and actions, has been indexed and identified as a greater tomorrow.
Dividend of democracy. This is a phrase that's taken a center stage in Nigeria's political scene. Without doubt, it could safely be said that there are no words that have been most used in recent times. The reason is not far-fetched. In a country where so much hope was raised following the return of democratic governance, it is therefore not out of place for public officials to term all efforts aimed at meeting these aspirations as democratic dividends. In Lagos State, to say that Lagosians have a good dose of dividend of democracy is just stating the obvious. Since its inception in 1999, conscious and deliberate policies and programs aimed at meeting the state's teeming populace at their points of critical needs
have been initiated and implemented. As a determined administration, propelled by pragmatism and desire to make a difference in public governance, the administration's responsiveness has brought about innovative policies which are not only copied by other states, as evidenced in all sectors of governance, but which have equally brought tremendous improvement to the lives of the people. With poverty alleviation as its major selling point, the present administration in Lagos State continues to dish out one program after another that are so touching, encouraging, and so lifting that give the people so much to hope for. Indeed, realizing the significance of keeping this hope alive, deliberate efforts are being made to lay a foundation solid enough to give our future leaders a pedestal on which to carry on. This stand today is most evident in the state's commitment to the redevelopment of education sector. From the very beginning, the approach of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu's administration is total. Every area of the sector must and did have a touch. Thus, from recruitment of teachers to improving students' welfare and development of infrastructure, the state education sector has not been the same. But one area where this effort is most pronounced is the provision of infrastructure. Without being immodest, this administration has dispensed considerable amount of effort into providing educational infrastructure that will guarantee a conducive and convenient learning environment for the state's large students. To this end, the Millennium Schools project is a statement in class, convenience, and comfort. In recent times, however, another phase of indisputable commitment is the establishment of the Special Committee for Rehabilitation of Public Schools. Set up about a year ago, this committee came as an intervention force aimed at halting the falling standard of education.
It gives me great pleasure to say before you that we have improved tremendously ever since 1999. These are written nationally and internationally. These are awards that not just ordinary given, but in the competitions. As since we assumed office in 1999, we waged relentless war against poverty, against illiteracy, against child dropouts. We are back upon that because the poor have the right to education. It's not a privilege, it's a matter of right. And the best education must be given to their children. The rich can take their children away and put them in Germany, London, America, Paris. What I want them always is, any neglect of the children of the poor constitutes danger to the children of the rich. And everybody must get better than clear, and clearly too. But in our case, we will not neglect your school, your children. They are all our children, and it is our responsibility to continue to care for these children. It's our determination.
No, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, having taken into consideration the considerable decay in public school infrastructure, established a special committee on rehabilitation of public schools, headed by a very respectable quantity surveyor. And one example of what that committee has been doing is the official commissioning of the first Wakwaboru secondary school. And we have across the state spread over about 80 schools across the state, in different parts of the state. This is Alimosho Federal Constituency in Agbado Kyodo local government. This is one. You have another at Awori College in Ojo. You have another one at Sakogboji in Amuwo. You have another at Domola in Eredwepe. You have across the state, all over the place. We have projects so that we can provide a conducive teaching and learning environment for our children to learn.
Obviously, it is a fact that some of the public schools in the state are in bad and decrepit shape. Classrooms are in serious bad shape, roofs have seen better days, and desks and benches are hardly enough, as pupils sometimes sit on bare floor. Also, school security are seriously threatened through collapsed fence system and upsurge in the rate of indiscipline and moral ineptitude among students. Since the committee swung into action, the extent to which it has gone to bring about improvement in this all-important sector cannot be overemphasized. Apart from outright construction of new classrooms, the rehabilitation of previously existing structure, which were greatly affected by the nation's poor maintenance culture, displayed this administration's magnanimity and expansive touching policies. What obtained in the past, where each administration strive to outshine the other by embarking on new projects rather than sustaining existing ones. In fact, this explains prevalence of uncompleted or abandoned projects, including the collapse of major infrastructure. With over 1.1 billion naira already expended on different projects, this special committee, within 11 months, has added into our school system a total number of classrooms enough to bring relief to the chronic and acute shortage of conducive and convenient learning environment.
This government has spent 1.1 billion naira on the rehabilitation of existing schools, construction of new ones, and construction of abandoned schools too. It started operation in September 2004. Our jobs are divided into phases. We started on phase 1, phase 2A, and phase 2B. Phase 2B will end by the end of this month. To date, in phase 1, we constructed 20 primary schools, 4 new secondary school blocks, and we rehabilitated 3 schools. The total number of classrooms, I want to talk in terms of in terms of classrooms now. The total number of classrooms that we completed in phase 1 for rehabilitated schools, we rehabilitated by 153 classrooms. For new schools, we added about 152 classrooms, and so the total number of classrooms added in phase 1 is about 168 in phase 1. In phase 2A, the total number of classrooms we added into the system can be broken down as follows. For secondary schools, we rehabilitated 153 classrooms. For primary schools, we rehabilitated 34 classrooms. For concerning abandoned schools, we added 91 classrooms into the system. New primary schools, we added 36 classrooms. And for new secondary school, we added 69 classrooms. So, and in phase 2B, which will be completed by the end of this month to early next month, that's early September, that is phase 3, phase 2B, the total number of classrooms that we have rehabilitated is 119. And we also rehabilitated about 4 laboratories, 4 labs. For abandoned projects, we have completed about 51. We added 51 classrooms into the system, and for new classrooms, we are putting in 42 classrooms. So at the end of the day, the total number of classrooms we have added into the system is about 1,200. It's about 1,200 classrooms that we have added into the system in the first year of this committee.
Furthermore, in conscious attempt to make sure that this dividend of democracy spreads across the state and benefit all the people, the Special Committee for Rehabilitation of Public Schools has been careful in adopting a criteria for choosing schools to be rehabilitated. As a result, there is no local government area in the state at present that does not have a feel of the committee's impact.
First and foremost, we make sure all these schools are spread across the state. All local governments benefit from this program. Number 2, we also use the student population. For example, take Alimosho, for example. It's one of the densely populated local governments in the state. Or you take Ajegunle. So we take population, apart from using, apart from making sure that we go around, we spread all this program across the state. Having done that, we also look at the student population. Student population also determines what to do. Let me give you an example. There is a school at Orile Agege Junior Secondary School. The student population is about 4,000. So in this school alone, we have constructed about 3 blocks, 2 blocks of 12 classrooms and 1 block of 6 classrooms. In order to solve the problem, this is a special problem concerning this school. So it depends on the population. And there's another school at Ajegunle. The student population is about 7,000. So we are constructing about 3 blocks of 12 classrooms in our 3rd phase in this school. So those are the 2 main areas we use. Those are the 2 criteria we use. To make sure we spread across, all this. We spread our intervention. We make sure we touch all the nooks and corners of the state. Again, but we use the population of the students in the school to determine what to do for them.
With the present level of intervention, one thing that cannot be taken away from this committee is that it enjoyed and continued to enjoy the patronage and support of the present administration. Similarly, the fact that his office is domiciled under the governor's office speaks eloquently of this administration's desire to make it a reference point in the discharge of this mass-oriented program. With the present initiative, a new lease of life is being breathed into the state's educational sector.
It is funded solely by the Lagos state government. Upon all the seizure of our funds by the federal government, this huge program which we are carrying out is solely being funded by the Lagos state government. That's number 1. Number 2, I told you earlier that we don't have a single abandoned project. All our contractors are paid when due, on time. Apart from the advance payment, we know 70% cannot even finish this project. But once you know a contractor is performing on the site, after he has utilized the 70%, we also give them some more. We give them about 10% more to finish the job, and they're happy. In fact, the maximum time our contractors spend on site is about 12 weeks, 3 months. For a 12 classroom block, or for 6 classroom blocks, 8 weeks. And apart from the classrooms, we also address infrastructures, drainages, toilets, fences, school fences, boreholes, and school desks. All these are also addressed.
In terms of regulatory bodies, yes, we're all professionals. I'm a registered engineer. We have some guidelines that guide the operation of an engineering profession in any industry. So the first thing we do is that we have what we call a specification. We draw up specification for all contractors. For instance, we have made it mandatory that they should not use local steel materials, local iron rods, that is the steel, because of the fact that we know it's very brittle. So we insist that they must use imported, which has a lot of sulfur and it makes it to be tensile. So by this we control whatever can happen in terms of the breaking of the steel. Another thing is that the cement we are using, we know that we ensure that we regulate what they are using. They do just bring in any cement for us. It's either you are using a Portland cement or you are using Dangote or something. Beyond that, we insist that they must use granite for their operation. We insist that they must use washed sand, and we insist that everything they are doing must be in compliance with what we have to do. And beyond that, you know, the whole problem of collapse starts from design. Because we are a team of professionals, we have a good design on ground. So the issue of design is all settled because we have design that has been well tested and is certified before we now give them the work to do. So we don't have any problem with collapse. Our building can stand the test of time anytime, any day. We don't have problems.
The ongoing massive rehabilitation of public primary and secondary schools in the state has, among others, benefit the potential of motivating both the teachers and students alike to pay serious attention to education.
Yes, I believe it will really increase population, because most parents, when they bring their children here, they see the place, you know, not too conducive for learning, and there is no fence, there was no fence, and so on, you know. I mean, most parents simply withdraw their children. That is if they allow them to honor the admission letter at all. But with this now, you know, it's a new dawn, like I said, and it's a new era, and better days surely are in the pipeline for both students and teachers, because even teachers too find it difficult to work as, you know, as much as they want to. When it rains, you know, the whole place is flooded and everybody is on the run. But now that things have improved, you know, the teachers' output will be better, and the children's input too will also increase.
I would really thank the governor for building this school for us, because it has been a long time that we have waiting for this opportunity. I will thank the governor for giving us this kind of gift. And we know that he's still going to do more, because in his reaction we know that he's still going to try his best.
Happy because our governor is doing new things for us in our school. The thing we have been lacking for so many years, but we see now that God has helped us to give us new building and new facilities.
The response has been wonderful. You know, full of praises to the governor, because we have never had this type in the state. They are, you know, in fact, I can coin it as promises fulfilled. You know, because it's one of the cardinal campaign programs of AD. You know, the second term of this administration, that the governor promised that is going to rehabilitate, is going to construct new schools, and the governor has really, you know, fulfilled his promise. And I can tell you that what we have seen now is just a tip of the iceberg, because, you know, come next year, you know, one of the key areas to be addressed by this administration is going to be, you know, the schools, construction of new schools and rehabilitation of existing ones. And even, you know, for the third phase, which is going to start next month, we are going to spend nothing less than ₦1 billion on this program. So it has been full of praises from the students, from the school principals, school teachers, because they have never had it so good in this state.
Indeed, the painstaking efforts of the contractors handling various projects have not only ensured that qualitative job is done, but that it is completed and delivered on time. This was achieved by the committee's strong and proactive monitoring strategy, which makes sure that all contractors comply with the set standard. And as a matter of fact, herein lies the challenges for this committee.
There are many challenges because time, the number one problem is time. I can assure you that we work around the clock here. Since I took up this appointment, I work 7 days in a week because apart from preparing all the tender documents with my colleagues in this committee, we have to supervise. Although we have some technical staff from the Ministry of Education, 2 or 3 from the private sector who are working here, but see, we have to work around the clock. That is time. That's number 2, to supervise all these contractors, because to date we have more than 50 contractors working on all the various projects scattered all over the state. So we have to monitor them closely. Some of my people will visit a site about twice in a week, because if you don't do that, some contractors may like to cut corners. So that is another challenge. Then another challenge is that to make sure we don't disappoint the people who have, saddled up with this responsibility. See, this is an opportunity for us to show what we can do. It's a challenge. So in order to make sure we don't let down the people, so we work around the clock. Because the expectations of the people of Lagos State are high concerning this program we are doing. And for the little we have been able to achieve is due to the grace of God. It's not of our own making.
I appreciate the fact that we are covering the whole state. Because of that, we have put together a team of professionals comprising of the architect, engineer, and quantity surveyors. We now form 4 teams, each with these professionals in the setup. So we divide the whole project within the state within these 4 teams. And what they need to do is they all go around in circles all the time. This enables them to visit, particularly on-site, minimum twice a week. So we have what I can regard as a very strong network that enables us to, get the feedback from the site. And besides, we too we engage in site visits. For instance, chairman is an ardent. He goes about on Saturdays and Sundays. He's always on the field. Similarly, I go about on Saturdays and later part of Sunday. So we have a very strong team on ground that enables that we impact what we wanted to be done on site. So because of that, these contractors are really on edge. You don't give them room to have laxity. So they always want to cope with what we are doing.
As the committee celebrates its 1 year in existence by forging ahead in the delivery of its responsibilities, there is no gainsaying, therefore, the fact that the commitments of this administration to improving the standard of education in the state is unparalleled. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has once again proved that leadership is about responsibility by standing up to the challenge of dilapidated infrastructure in the educational sector and confronting it headlong. This initiative, once again, justifies the enormous confidence reposed in this administration by the teeming population of the state, and of course the goodwill it enjoys therefrom. It is therefore hoped that the massive reconstruction and rehabilitation of public schools would foster a new dawn in the state's educational delivery and enhance its development as the sector sets about to regain its lost glory.